As many of you will know, I'm a big fan of doing ass-to-grass squats. And what that means is doing your squat so you go below parallel. So that... Ooh, didn't expect that. So when you go below parallel, so your hips go below where your knees are. And that's what I kind of consider to be a squat. I would say if you only go to parallel or a little bit above parallel, then you've only really done half an exercise. Like the squat, I would say, is when you go right down to as low as you can, to the point where if you didn't have any weight on you, you would be squatting, taking a shit, and then standing back up again. For example, I would never take a shit like that. If I was to take a shit, I would be down here squeezing one out. So for me, the squat is really only a squat once you've gone right down to the bottom and gone back up again. Some people, and quite a few resources, say, oh, going below parallel is dangerous for you. It can damage this and that and all that kind of stuff. And do you know what? Pretty much anything you do can be dangerous for you. But the knee is such an important joint in your body that you don't ever really want to screw it up in any way whatsoever. So that's why a lot of people are very, very nervous about it. And what I would say is that yes, you can potentially lift a far greater weight doing partial reps, doing half reps, doing just above parallel reps than what you can do whenever you go ass to grass. So doing ass to grass with the weight which you can do in a 4-inch range of motion, then you ain't going to be able to get up. But that's not important. So what you can do in that little range of going from somewhere like here to here to here to here, that being a partial rep, I could probably do about 40 kilograms more than what I can if I go right down to the grass. Generally, the knee joint has a load of ligaments and a load of tendons and a load of stuff that needs to be taken care of. So I'd always say make sure that if you're having any problems with your knees or pains in your knees, or if you've had any knee damage in the past, really try and figure out what exercises you can do beforehand. Probably the biggest danger, I would say, to the knee is not so much compressive forces, not even so much shearing forces, but what I would say, shearing forces, this is kind of the same thing, but the extending forces. So whenever you're running along and you kick a football, that kind of momentum of your foot suddenly coming away from you and you hitting something and that vibration coming up and really attacking your knee, that I would say is far more like an American footballer kicking their football as hard as possible, I would imagine is one hell of a lot more dangerous than somebody doing an ass-to-grass squat. The extension of and the separation of the femur and the tibia from each other, from the the momentum that you potentially are producing, and then the vibration and shock that runs right back up your shin again whenever you hit something, is going to be pretty goddamn dangerous. There's a research study which I was having a look at, which was kind of a review of lots of different things, the knee biomechanics of the dynamic squat exercise. And it's pretty much saying here, the squat does not compromise knee stability, so that's fine. So doing deep ass squats means your knees don't get weak or anything like that, and can enhance stability if performed correctly. So obviously with anything, if you perform it correctly, you'll be fine. It's also saying the squat has been a good exercise for the patellofemoral rehabilitation. And what that is, so your patella is your kneecap, and let's see if I can find an image here. So your patella there and your femur up here, so how do they pronounce it? Patellofemoral rehabilitation. So anytime that your kneecap has kind of come off your thigh, ow, squats are actually pretty good for that rehabilitation. And it says doing a parallel squat is recommended over deep squat because injury potential to the meniscus and cruciate and collateral ligaments may increase with a deep squat. But that's regarding people who have had or who are getting rehabilitation. So if you have ever injured your knee, if you have any kind of problems, cartilage, kneecap issues, then yeah, I would say definitely err on the side of caution to deep squats. If you're young, healthy, active, don't have any knee problems, then you don't really have an excuse. The more you go down to the Ass2Grass, the stronger you'll be. And also, there's, what you've got to think about the whole idea of what if you do a squat with a weight out with the gym, out with a safety rack. Let's say you're giving somebody a lift over a wall or something, you've got them on your back, and you go, I can get you down to here. Then all of a sudden you go that extra inch below parallel, and all of a sudden you realise, shit, I've never trained this. I have no idea how to get back up. I don't have that strength for that last 4 inches of going below parallel. So I would say if you've got the ability to do it and you're not injured, then absolutely do it. I'd also say if you're doing sports like football, rugby, and other things where you're kicking a ball, your knee is in far more danger with those sports than it is from going Ass2Grass with squats. And also going Ass2Grass with squats means you're using a lower weight than what you could do in a semi-squat, and therefore you're still in less danger of doing any real damage. So that's just my little tip for you. Hope that helps. Cheers, bye-bye.